staff logo is very reminiscent of the hospital logo, which is a snake coiled around a staff with wings. This staff is a representation of a duality. It is the rod of the Antichrist, but also the holy scepter of God. The reason why there are snakes is because the snake is also a duality with something good and something bad. The wings are very self-explanatory with angels. Angels are a representation of the number 9. Not only is this very important for the things that I will be bringing up, but in this what the fuck, we will be figuring out things that we may have not noticed about the staff. Okay, so before I do get into this, you guys, I want to make it very clear. My what the fuck videos are not to be taken as serious as my theory videos or any of my other find videos, because these are not necessarily factual finds. These are just finds that are labeled by the eye. We are just looking and we are observing certain things before we move on to clarify if they are relevant or not. And that is one thing I wanted to clarify, especially about the barbershop thing. I know a lot of people have tried, I guess, looking at the barbershop in the same way I did, and I find it very odd that a few people did not experience this. Although a few people did, I still have no clue, and that's why I did put it in a what the fuck video. I didn't, put it in a theory video, because I don't want to mislead you guys. But in keeping with that, in keeping with what we've learned so far, understanding that 9 can be a representation of an angel, okay? But if 6s can be represented as the devil, okay, then 69 is not only a relevant thing within GTA, but it's something that they have been trying to make a point to us, and that is duality of good and evil. The reason why I put this specifically in a what the fuck video is because I find it very, very interesting, okay? And I find it very, very non-coincidental, okay? In a game that has made so many references to 69 that they put these 69 at the X-Row gas station, okay? Gas is a very relevant thing within this mystery, but we don't know yet how it formulates. These are the rough things that are going to connect, okay? Not just based off of the bullshit, okay, that we just know to be in the game, like fire and it being tied to the altarist. That's a bullshit idea, because it's like taking one possibility of fire, meaning just fire, and not enlightenment or other things, and that is what can mislead certain people to not find out what people are finding out about Michael. And this is how Rockstar confused a lot of us. They set up different paths so that if you were going with your favorite character, you would notice a lot more than the other. But once again, I find it very interesting that they've tied 69 to the gas station, especially the name of the gas station that is tied to the blimp that they give us in Next Gen. I ask you guys, what the fuck are they trying to tell us? Now for the reason why I brought you to the staff once again. These aspects of the game have been not necessarily hidden, but they've been masqueraded upon other things so that, they're obscured. We just don't notice them because it's just like life. We don't notice a lot of things that are telling us things. Like why in the camera we can only have 96 pictures, and backwards that is 69. Now, the reason I brought you to this is that this is the department of the coroner. Now, my what the fuck here is they have a heart, they have balance, and they have a bullet. All of these things pertain to, if not items of the government, but items of health. But within a so-called in-game serious establishment, they have an obvious bong. Now, why would they have this, you guys? In a game where two characters can use a bong. I'm not 100% sure on what we need to do with weed yet, you guys. But there are certain aspects of marijuana that are tied to this mystery that we need to either figure out if we need to smoke or not to smoke. And this could be depending on which character we choose to follow our path in. But I also find it very, very interesting that I believe in one part of the story mode, we were in a coroner with Michael when he pretended to be dead and faked his death with the FIB. This can be taken as bullshit or just nothing at all. But it's obvious that not only are hearts tied to karma, that I've made very, very notable, but the bullet, okay, can also be derived to something else that connects with the mystery, and that is time. Bullet, time. Possibly Michael. There's much more to be understood, but I ask you again, what the fuck are they trying to tell us? Okay, so now for this next what the fuck, I understand that a lot of people have possibly seen this and or heard this, but I'm here to bring a lot of clarity to a lot of the things that we possibly don't have any reason for, or that could have double meanings to. Things that we are not noticing exactly for their right reasons. We kind of discard them as bullshit and just meaning to be there to be there. This is one of these things. Now, I understand if that was not necessarily anything to you guys, but I ask you, okay, why would they reference something like owls in the game? Like their sound, it makes no sense. What the fuck are owls' sound doing in the game if we don't have owls in the game? You could play this off as something bullshit and physical, like, well, dude, they're just sound files and they're meaning to sound realistic. There's a lot of animal sounds they could have thrown in to sound realistic, and they chose something that is, for some reason, on the same thing that has given us two clues to two Easter eggs in the game, Epsilon and Bigfoot. The crest of Los Santos has given us a lot of clues. Now, when looking at an owl from the perspective of the shaman, and to clarify, for those of you who do not understand where shamanism even comes into play, or Indians, or any of that heritage in the mystery, you should wonder why they throw redwood cigarettes in your face. Because all of that, it all ties into clues that they want you to pick up on. Now, one thing that is interesting about owls when it comes to shamanism, the view that Michael is supposed to look at certain spirit animals in. The owls are known for stealth, secrecy, silent, and swift movement. Swift, fast, speed, seeing behind masks, keen sight, messenger of secrets and omens, possibly evil omens, shape-shifting, the link between the dark and unseen world and the world of the light. He is the nature between the dark and the light. One green, man is a nocturnal animal by nature, and so are owls. Comfort with shadow self, meaning he is okay with his dark side. Moon magic. You wonder why we have glyphs for the moon, a crescent moon, and why the Baphomet depicts a crescent moon. Freedom. Now, when it comes to freedom, that is something that not only Satan wanted, but it is something that is tied to aspects of sin, to be free of rules, and to do what thou wilt. Pure freedom. Now, one thing that is pretty notable about this owl within the crest of Los Santos is that he is holding a mouse. Now, you could have depicted this as Michael, being that he is so-called a rat. But is he a rat, or is the duality of the rat a mouse? When understood this, a mouse examines life lessons. A mouse has shyness. Shyness can be interpreted in a lot of ways for Michael, but especially when he is being evolved from normal to an epsilonist. These are things that he was shy about, but he needs to open his mind in order to do. And it's no different than with yoga. He must open his mind in order to do those things. He was shy. Quietness could be possibly interpreted as accepting, to be quiet and understand when something is being told. Understanding details. The whole point of epsilon is to understand the truth and unknow it. Invisibility. Now, there are a few subtle missions with Michael that are most noted towards stealth, and I think that stealth has something to do with Trevor and Michael within all of this, and there is a lot more evidence to this that I will be bringing up later. Guidance in signing contracts. Throughout the story, Michael is constantly making deals, whether with Martin Madrazo or the FIB or anyone who contacts him that is, tied to any aspect of his storyline. He is always in constant contracts with different people throughout the story mode. This could be interpreted for each character, but the fact of the matter is that no other character within the story mode has contracts with the FIB, with Devin Weston, with Martin Madrazo, with Davey from the FIB, and the IIA. All of these things are all ties to Michael, and they're all deals that he's intertwined with. Even the deal to become a movie producer. Discovery. becoming an epsilon, the ability to be unseen. This ties into aspects of stealth, and also it ties into things that are beyond our sight, spirituality. They can all be interpreted as certain things. You do not even have to see it this way. But the fact of the matter is that these are things tied to things that they have mentioned in the game. An owl and a mouse. Okay, so now for the next what the fuck, I really want to ask you guys a question, and that is, have you guys seen Ron shooting outside of Trevor's house? Now, most of you are saying yes by now. I want to highlight this moment because I think there's something that we need to pay attention to here. I'm not sure yet, but there are a few things that I'm tying to why, and one will be coming in a later video, and one will be shown right now. Now, pay attention. Okay. Now, before I continue the scene, I want to make a note. Ron never hits these fucking bottles. He never hits these goddamn bottles. Now, that's not why I'm showing you this. I want to really take an abstract thought to this. They program him never to hit these fucking bottles. But, and I mean that, but they have a program in place for him to do something when you interact with this. You don't need to interact with it, but it's something that happens from you interacting with it. And there's no fucking save marker or none of that shit. The point of me showing you this is two reasons. One, this proves that the game can react in several different ways without even fucking telling you. Seriously. Characters can go on and do certain things, and you can walk away and never notice what they do. And this is proof. I shoot out the bottles.
Where are you assholes hiding?
And then he walks away, right?
I can hear the ships, but I can't find them.
When he walks away, he says something very interesting. And I want you to listen.
I can hear the ships, but I can't find them. You think they're using a cloaking device?
He said, I'm looking for the ships. Come on, you guys. He's talking about the fucking ships. Listen to it again. Now, the reason I'm showing this again, you guys, is understanding. There are hidden clues. This is proof that there are hidden clues.
I can hear the ships, but I can't find them. You think they're using a cloaking device?
He says, I can hear the ships, but I can't find them. I think they're using a cloaking device. Now, if this motherfucker is telling us basically about one of the Easter eggs at the end of the game, then that's only proof that significant things can happen from you interacting with shit that's in the fucking game outside of things that it's telling you. Okay? So for those of you who don't believe in this shit, understand. They are implying things. They could have easily had Ron walk away and just keep walking. They've done it with several NPCs, and I can easily show you guys. But Ron goes off to not only say something very derived off the Easter eggs that are in the game and aliens. He talks about their invisibility. Watch what Ron does. Okay, now let's stop it right there. Now, I've seen him randomly out here like this before, but the fact that it runs on some chain reaction like that is very odd. I've seen these NPCs act differently before, but Ron in particular, for some reason, goes right here and he starts looking out his binoculars. Now, what he's looking at is this. Even if it was pertaining towards the UFOs that he was trying to look at, the reason why I'm saying he's looking at this is because you have to really think about this. If he's looking at the UFOs, you guys, he doesn't need to walk all the way over here. They imply him to walk all the way over here and get a vantage point. And I've stood right next to him. He's looking diagonally. He's looking straight at this fucking satellite. Now, what's interesting about this satellite is that it's the same make and model of satellite that is on the bunker at Fort Zancudo. Now, not bringing up the bunker in particular here, and that's not what I'm getting at here. I think what's at the bunker is showing us something that we should be paying attention to and that we have discarded from the very fucking get-go, you guys. And in my next episode, I will be showing a lot of reasons why we possibly misread the fuck out of the bunker, and it's not even funny. Seriously. But the point is that this satellite is a Badger. Okay, so now what we're looking at here is the Badger building. Now, I know that there are several buildings in the game that coincide with things that, are different companies and whatnot, whether it be Tinkle or, the 24/7 gas stations. The fact of the matter is that, yes, most likely there's an establishment for this, but I've glitched into a lot of places before, and I've made this very notable, but one thing that I'm having a hard time understanding is the texture of the inside of this specific building. Now, before a bunch of people come to this video saying, well, dude, there's an all interiors mod and we saw all the interior, I don't even want to hear that shit. I really don't. Because until modders, honestly, and again, this isn't against modders, but until they find what I found inside of Michael and turn it into a real thing and show us what it is, then I don't want to hear what they can do to discard what we are bringing up. If it helps what we're bringing up, then that's positive. The negative shit doesn't help here, period. The fact of the matter is that I'm not saying we can go inside this building, but I am bringing it up in a what the fuck because it's something very, very interesting. Okay, so now we are inside the Badger building, and this is what has brought me here a little bit. Again, you guys, there will be another video explaining the true connections to Badger, but for now, what the fuck is this? Seriously. What the fuck is this? I mean, I understand if it's just a bullshit texture, but you guys, I mean, it's a big, like, it looks like a fucking, I don't want to say room, because that's what leads a lot of bullshit speculation, but straight up, you guys, it's big enough for a person to go in. It connects to these doors and it connects to the fucking garage that is right there. I've noticed this shit several times. I just don't. There's been no way to get inside. This does remind me a lot of those fucking squares that are, behind the Mount Chiliad mural and in the FIB building. But this is just something a little bit different because it's just big, and I've never seen the inside of a place have such a huge brick like this. It's just a little odd, and yeah, this is just me asking, what the fuck, what in the fuck? If you even kind of have an idea of what this could be, I mean, really, I have no clue, you guys. I have no clue, not even a little bit. I mean, there could be other like reasons for this, but the fact of the matter is that it's just a huge like bricked room or something that you can. I'm not sure. Maybe it's for later, maybe later content. Who knows? Who knows? I'm not going to sit here and say go for it. I'm just asking, what the fuck is this? Okay, so now what we're looking at here is, honestly, it's a what the fuck, but it's more or less a question and a theory for the moment. I'm wondering something. Are strangers and freaks a lot more different than the random events than we know? And I know that sounds odd, but the strangers and freaks missions are actual missions. These are mission completed missions. I mean, when we complete these missions, they are regarded as a mission completed. When it comes down to random events, they happen, just happen. I think, and I'm really pondering here, if this is a surefire way to karma, being that there's a lot of things that just happen, and we only have a split second to either make a choice or walk away or otherwise. But there's always a choice, and one thing that's most noted about this choice is the fact that the game still saves, but it does not give you a sense of completion. It gives you a sense of whatever you did is what you have. So if you rob someone, you have the money. If you don't, then that's the end, and so on. But my point is about this is that if that's it, and we just do the good deed, and it means nothing, then does it really mean nothing, or is this accumulating on some hidden aspect of the game that we don't know? Now, this is what I mean.
Get on the...
This was a random event, okay? And the point to me bringing here is that when it comes down to strangers and freaks, they come in as question marks. And they allow you to make the decision to go to this stranger and help them or do whatever they need or not. But this is a little bit different, okay? It just happens. It happens wherever you go. It's more of a timed thing. Now, my point is that if timing is a key thing to the mystery, then timing could be an aspect to why these random events are even in the game and why they could be tied to karma.
fucking floor right now! Okay, alright. Take it easy.
What are we going to do?
Now, the first thing I want to bring attention to is the fact that two different people go off in two different areas. Alright? Now, not only is that a clear sign of duality and a clear sign of all of the things that we are looking at in the game, but these are choices, okay? These are things that we need to make a choice about, and it's all about those aspects that they're teaching us, okay? This is part of what I mean about, is it needed or is it just there to show us another part? Now, I believe that the sum of this mission boils down to the fact that it's tied to karma.
Oh, shit.
Okay, now pay attention. I just got the $2,000 back. I let the guy go. Now watch.
You got the money. Oh, thank God. Next time you come in, it's 25% off, okay?
Okay, now
You got
watch.
the money. Oh, thank God. Next time you come in, it's 25% off.
Okay, so notice here, we only get 2,000 taken away from us. Alright? The same amount that the robber took. So, we didn't gain anything. Alright? Now, my point is that what was the point of this mission, you guys? What was the point of this fucking mission? What the fuck? Seriously. Is it seriously just for 100%? Now I ask you, all of the other missions literally will most likely give you something, if not a sense of completion, and tell you mission completed. But this is a lot different. Okay, so now we have completed that mission. And as you see, nothing happens. Just save. 2,000 taken away from us, and the store is closed, and nothing. Now, my point to this, you guys, is that if there is no sense to do this shit, then is it tied to karma? And is it tied to why we don't get shit out of it? Also, why is it that the random events only take about 14 to get 100%, but there are more to actually do than just 14, thus giving you choices? This is all part of Michael and Trevor's sides of karma and the decisions that they make that evolve them. Now, on a lighter note, there's something I gotta talk about. What the fuck is up with this bitch? Like, seriously, what the fuck is up with this bitch's feet? Look at this bitch. God damn, bitch. Bitch got balance? God damn. What in the fuck? Bitch. You know, God. Whoa. I know those ain't clogs. Fuck, bitch. Seriously. What the fuck? You know what's crazy, you guys? I didn't even know this shit in the last scene. Like, I had to watch this whole last scene to really, like figure this shit out. Look at this.
You got the money. Oh, thank God.
Bitch, how are
Next
you
time come
walking
in,
like that? Get the fuck out of here. Look at this shit.
You got the money. Oh, thank
God damn. Rockstar, fix your fucking game, yo.